The floor is yours. What's your response to Mr. Smith?
I accept your apology. Clear as day. You know? I didn't need Shaq to go do that, but I appreciate my brother Shaq stepping, because I guess it was only 2 people that I struck a chord with. Out of all the 5,000 players that ever watched Kobe Bryant play, me and Shaq feel some type of way. And that's unfortunate, but I know a lot of people can't say what they really feel when it come down to a Kobe Bryant, because he's not here no more, and he didn't really fuck with a lot of people. So a lot of people not gonna come to his defense, but that's my brother in blood. Like, that's my man's. So it is kind of personal for me and the family and his children, and to hear anything negative come out of anybody's mouth when referring to him when he's passed, it should be nothing but positivity, because he has people coming after him. So it's like, if that wasn't the case and Kobe was still here, it's fair game. It's fair game, because Kobe can defend himself. But if I gotta step up and be the guy no one likes, the guy everybody thinks is this and that, he shouldn't be talking, well, here I am, talking about Kobe, protecting his name and his legacy. Because at the end of the day, you only want positive things to be said about you and your legacy when you're done with the game, when you're done with life. And that's all I was saying. It's like, oh, well, Kobe, he had Shaq for 3 years, and we talking about skill. We're talking about teammates. We talking about when you watch the game of basketball, you watch them Kobe Bryant highlights, man, it ain't no way you don't put him beside Michael Jordan. So here's what I'll do, for the sake of conversation. Let's start the criteria here. Mike, Kobe will now be out of the conversation. We'll start it with LeBron. We don't even need to mention these 2 no more. They are that good when it comes to the blueprint of the game. Without stats and all that other shit, they out. Now, let's start with stats. You start with LeBron, everybody else can fall in fucking line. LeBron is the GOAT. But that's because we're not mentioning these other 2 niggas no more. They're not even in the conversation. Player 99, player 98. Cool. Now y'all can have y'all, you know, whoever he paying to say he the best, whatever the case may be. You like him, you like him. He the most biggest IQ guy, all that shit, cool. You won't hear nothing else come from me, because I'm taking these 2 guys out of the conversation. They ain't in it no more, for me. I don't know about anybody else, because there's a long list of NBA players that say what I say and agree and feel the way I agree, because we played. We watched it. We seen it. Shaq played with Mike and played against Mike before he played with Kobe. Then he won with Kobe and was able to say, shit, damn, man, this dude really is that guy. Now, he might have had some comments that said that LeBron was the GOAT at some point, because the GOAT of accomplishments does exist. So when you're the #1 all-time scorer, you gotta throw some respect on that shit. And I agree. But skill-wise and to play the game-wise and what we seen, man, it's 2 guys that just, I seen the toughest defense in the world on this dude. Kobe Bryant created moves because of this nigga's defense was that good. We ain't never seen that shit. He was forced to do shit you could never do. I just want the respect to just be there. I don't think it needs to be any malice or anything like, oh, I'm trying to attack Stephen A. I just feel personal when my man is gone. I gotta protect it. And that's what I'm here for. I stand on business. For real. For real. I ain't gotta play, I ain't Kobe, I ain't none of that, but bro, this is my bro. That's all I was saying. This is my bro. But thank you for the 12 minutes of promo. My IG's on fire. I'm looking for an agent, manager, whoever wants to step up. Yeah, man, I do this shit for real. Carry on.
So GOAT debate is subjective. People have their pick. There isn't anything that will change a lot of people's minds, whether it's MJ, LeBron, Kobe, even Kareem. But Gil, why do players have so much more respect for Kobe and his contribution to the game than fans or media do?
Players are in the lion's cage with the lions, right? Media watches, right? So, you know, when you have to guard someone, 43, 48 minutes, day in and day out, you know who's who. You know who's a killer, right? Your stats don't mean anything. It's not like you take in consideration double teams and triple teams, right? None of that factors in. It doesn't factor in how high a guy can jump, how fast he is, what type of engine he has, what is he working with, how's he starting this race. Media don't factor any of that in because if they haven't played, they wouldn't know, that this guy has if we're running a 100-yard race, he already at the 60-yard line when we start because, he got this engine. So for this guy to even get close, for this guy to even lose by 10 yards, in a sense, that is the win for us because the one guy had a 60-yard head start, right? So that's what we see as players, right? That's why when you hear players talk about other players, that's what's respected. Not with the media. We really don't care because y'all are just looking at stats. Y'all don't have no feel for it. Y'all don't understand it. Y'all have never sat in front of that guy and see how hard it is to guard. But the question is this. When does reality kick in when we're having debates, right? Before Michael Jordan, there was someone on top. Right? Whoever that was, they got pushed the fuck out. If Kobe's number 2, before he was number 2, who was number 2? Right? They had to get put in. He had to move somebody out. So it ain't shitting on anyone's name because you don't mention him anymore or they move. Like Kobe was the next Jordan. Right? He was the next Jordan. He was compared. There was times where he said, I'm 1A, he's 1B. Right? The reason he's not in the GOAT debate anymore is because they have LeBron as the definite 2, right? So there's no, if they move Kobe to 3 in the debate, there's no point in even having that conversation because he can't collect stats anymore. So his stats ain't collectible anymore. So whatever his stats are, whatever his resume is, it's stopped. So if someone caught him, that's who gets put into the GOAT debate, just like when Kobe, whoever was in front of Kobe and he caught him, they don't talk about 3.
So Michael would have been pushed out there, correct?
If someone caught him.
No, because Kobe caught him and passed him. So he would have been pushed out.
What year did anybody say Kobe was number 1?
I'm not saying by your metric what you just said.
I just said that.
You said when Michael came in, he had to push somebody out. Then here come Kobe. So who would get pushed out if Kobe comes in? Michael.
Number 2.
That means
who was number 2?
No, I'm not saying number 2. If Kobe comes in as number 2,
how did he came in the league as number 2?
No, man, I'm just saying in the conversation.
Okay, but what I'm saying is think about what I'm saying. If Michael Jordan is in the 90s, number 1, who's number 2 in the 90s of all time?
Doesn't matter.
It does.
I'm saying what you just said.
It does. So listen to what I'm saying. If this is Jordan, who's number 2? Because Kobe ain't in the league yet when Jordan's number 1. So who's number 2? That means whatever Kobe
Who was
did.
number 2? Okay, so if you don't even know who number 2
Wilt, whatever, Magic, whatever.
They all got pushed out, right?
They got pushed out by Kobe.
No, they got pushed out by Mike.
No, Mike was already, he was number 1.
Who was number 1 before Mike?
They didn't have one. They didn't have a GOAT. They didn't have a GOAT yet. The first GOAT
so
and the
Wilt Chamberlain wasn't.
They didn't have.
Bill Russell wasn't.
They didn't have no GOAT.
Nobody. Kareem wasn't, because Kareem led the league in all-time points.
They didn't have a GOAT.
They didn't have a GOAT.
Why you think Kareem was
But that ain't what Isaiah Thomas said. So what you saying don't have no merit, because Isaiah Thomas said, Captain, when he walked in the room, we bowed.
Who?
Isaiah Thomas said it.
That's one person.
It don't matter about one person. He said we all came down. That's Cap. That's Cap when he came in. That's Big Cap. So when Big Cap stopped, it come in Magic and Bird. They didn't get the same kind of bravado, but then Mike comes in. Mike gets the bravado.
Okay.
Here comes Kobe. Now
So
you
Cap
just
is
said
sec-
you just
so-
said
so
that
if Jordan's in front, Cap is second.
But you said
right?
the collectible stats, because LeBron is still collecting stats. Mike's not collecting stats no more. So how is it that you say, okay, because Kobe's not collecting stats no more, we can push him out because here's LeBron, but Mike ain't been collecting stats since fucking 2002.
And who passed him?
Kobe Bryant passed him.
When?
What do you mean when? When he passed it, Michael Jordan in the scoring list. Do you follow basketball?
Yeah, so the scoring
Okay.
So
what are you
the
talking
score-
about? He passed him.
in the scoring list, that didn't put him in front of Michael Jordan of all time.
Oh my gosh. So how does it?
Michael Jordan
So
was-
how does LeBron James get in front of Kobe Bryant all the time?
Because his metrics said he was a better player so far.
Excuse me?
His
You talking
career.
stats?
How long?
You just said we're not talking stats. You just
Wait,
said
no,
we're not
how
talking
long-
stats,
How
Gilbert.
long was How long was LeBron the number 2?
Here we go.
2015, 14? Right, they done had him in there, 2014, 15 as the second best? Right?
Never.
Right now it's 50-50 on who's number 1.
Never.
That's the problem.
No, it's
right
not.
now, when you hit LeBron James, who is the number 1 player ever? It's a 50-50 thing.
Let me just smoke this
60-40, so
Gil.
that means whoever's third, there's no point of...
The only way James can be mentioned in this conversation is with stats. Period. So, if you don't bring LeBron James stats into play, no NBA player is considering him and his body of work, his skill set, and any close to Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, because the skill sets are different. Now, you talk about stats, that's when you gotta bring LeBron in because of the stats. But players don't do that.
Skill set? What do you mean skill set? How he looked playing the game? Yeah.
How he looked? No, nigga, footwork. The shit you said in the interview. Do I need to post what you said? Do you want me to play what you said in the interview about Kobe Bryant being better than LeBron James? You said it.
Michael Jordan was sexy what he did. Kobe followed suit. LeBron James is like a Hummer. He don't have the sexiest game, right? So if you're going off of how fine the girl looks, then yes, Kobe is the second finest to Michael Jordan. But is that all you're going off of? How sexy it looked when he played?
So, Kane, I want to...
That's what I'm asking. Like, like...
Is that what you consider Michael Jordan? Whatever you consider Michael Jordan to be, Kobe's in the same breath.
So
He was.
Then how can he be skipped by anybody else?
He was.
If they're breathing the same air.
He was.
Kenya, I want to get your thoughts on this subject.
Oh, do you?
I know I've seen you over here.
Oh, listen, hey, I'm enjoying the conversation just like everybody in the chat.
You know, but like Rashad said, you got the opportunity to guard Kobe. So do you feel like his name belongs in that GOAT convo?
It does, but it's one single solitary thing that, because the question that you asked was why do the players look at Kobe different than the media?
Yeah.
Right?
Media and fans.
Media and fans. When it comes to certain things and certain players, people have memory like an elephant, right? With no controversy on Kobe's book, he'll still be in the conversation. People try to use that when they're having a debate, unfortunately.
Yes.
Right? If we call it spade. Not us,
I don't say
not players, media and fans is what I'm saying. So the question that he asked was, so I'm just answering the question that you asked. And they can continue their fucking debate. I'm enjoying it. But I think it's that people try to put into the narrative of it when it comes to certain conversations behind closed doors, right? They're not gonna mention it to the masses, but behind closed doors when we're having these conversations. But what about? And then it's like the room gets silent.
Because it's moving the
right?
goalposts.
But for us, for me, Kobe has never been out of the best basketball player of all time debate. Never. Because I played against him. I had guarded. Badass man. The ball in his hand. Competitive as they come, 5 rings, all of it. You can't talk about because he had Shaq. No, fuck it. He got 5 rings, man. And he is who he is. Through our generation of playing, my 15 years of playing basketball, Kobe Bryant was the best basketball player in the National Basketball Association. Without fucking question.
Damn, man.
Right?
So for me, high five, Kenyon, goddamn.
Right, for me, he always has been here. Right? I look at him and so there's always going to be a debate. Everything is subjective to everybody's opinion. Everybody has an opinion about it. So respect everybody's opinion about it. That's all I'm like, because it's.
Where do you rank him?
I don't rank, I don't care, to be honest with you, Gil.
Okay, but
I look at it in generations, bruh. The way I look at basketball, I look at it in generational, right? Because there was one dominant basketball player in every generation of basketball that the league knew when they put them uniform on, he the one.
Yep.
Right? That's the way I look at it. Because when you don't, I hear Michael Jordan when they ask him about it. It's shitting on the people that played before him if they consider him this.
Yep.
And this is coming from the man himself.
Yeah.
Right? And I think about that. I'm not going to say that Kareem wasn't great when he was. I'm not going to say Wilt wasn't the greatest at his shot. I'm not going to say that because they were. Yep. When Michael Jordan played, absolutely was the best thing smoking. Yes. When Kobe played, absolutely, they held the torch. LeBron has held the torch, right?
Right now.
So that's just what I think. I don't have a best basketball. Am I a Michael Jordan fan? Absolutely. But I didn't grow up a Michael Jordan fan like everybody else. If you ask me, people don't put Isaiah Thomas as one of the best. I fucking admire Isaiah Thomas for what he did for the game at the size he was and what he did.
Facts.
So I look at basketball in a different light than everybody else. I'm not into putting people here and saying who. No, I don't. It's the same thing with basketball. It's the same thing with music. It's the same thing. Who's the best quarterback of all time? Who's the best wide receiver? Who's the best run? All this shit is subject to everybody's opinion.
Yep.
And everybody's entitled to that opinion, right? So let's appreciate people for what they've done for the sport that we care so much about and their craft that they put out there while they're doing it.
I get that.
Just the way I look at it.
But there is ranking, and it's just natural. But at the end of the day, when we say GOAT debate, right? Whoever's 3, 4, and 5, you're not in the debate anymore.
So let's look up the term. So when did everybody? So LL started the term GOAT.
No, it's a woman. But what I'm saying.
So what year was that?
90.
So 1990, right? Is when the acronym greatest of all time started,
1991,
right?
Yep.
So the people that played, the people that before 1990 wasn't GOATs in there?
No.
Why not?
Why?
Because it wasn't a term?
Because it didn't say it?
Because it wasn't a term yet?
Because the league started in 78 when all the black people emerged, so they didn't really look at the league before that.
So let me ask you this.
Julius Erving. Julius Erving wasn't considered.
Hold on, let me ask you this, Gilbert.
ABA?
Gilbert, let me ask you this.
No.
So when they started throwing this word gentrification out and shit like that, had that not been going on? Moving people out of neighborhoods so other people.
Great point.
So it's the same fucking shit, dog.
Okay, but
they was doing it before then. Just because somebody put a fucking tag on it, now people start using that.
That's it.
Okay, but at the end of the day.
So those people were great in their own respective, dog.
Cool, but at the end of the day, when the NBA merged in both parties, the black culture and the white culture merged, that's when they actually started figuring out who is the best talent in the NBA.
And
because the ABA said we have the best.
And the NBA said, generation.
But they're saying we have the best when the ABA is like, nah, we have the best. So when they merged it, that's when the time started really ticking.
And that was the only. And so when they merged, who was the best player?
So
when they merged, who was the best player?
Julius Erving.
Magic, Julius.
So who was the best player when they merged?
Magic.
So there was no one best player. There was not one guy.
No.
He do not want to say it because he don't want to be wrong. He do not want to be wrong.
I've already asked the Clyde Drexlers and all of that.
So Clyde was there when they merged?
No.
Clyde was around when they merged?
No. In 83.
No.
Clyde was around when they merged?
83.
Clyde was around when they merged?
So the top 10.
So was Clyde around? You brought Clyde Drexler in this fucking conversation.
83. I said, when was the GOAT name? When you was in the league in 89, who did they say was the best player? He said everyone had their favorites. He said people thought Dr. J, people thought Wilt, people thought
89 and 89?
He said Russell. He said Magic had a claim for it, but he said there was no king yet.
In 89?
He said there was, yes. He said there was no
Michael Jordan was in 89 considered the best.
So then the next year, so you said 89, right? So then the next year the term is GOAT. So fuck out of here.
Come on, man.
But that's beside the point.
Come on, man.
You brought it up.
Here's the point.
Why is it beside the point and you brought it up?
Here is the point. When people say they need to be in the GOAT debate, right? The GOAT debate. The GOAT debate can only be the top 2 players. Whoever is 3, 4, 5, you are not actually in a debate.
You're not in the race anymore.
So
right, that's just life.
And
if we say whose life?
Whose life?
So let me just
that's not a part of my life. I don't look at that shit like that.
Rashad, let me go back to my statement. That's why I don't participate in y'all. That's why I said. That's why I was sitting here enjoying the fucking conversation.
Okay.
Because I don't.
Okay, that's you.
I don't
personally,
think that
but
way.
that's the life.
Well,
What I'm saying
that's
is,
fine.
since we're all saying,
I appreciate everybody.
Since we're all saying, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm saying logistically, 3, 4, 5. You're not in the debate anymore. If you're not playing anymore, you're not in this debate.
All of them haven't been playing. All of them haven't been playing. The only nigga still playing is LeBron, bro. How could you even use that as a metric to do?
LeBron,
Year 21.
What's the name? So until LeBron takes over 2 or 1, right? If whoever's 1 and 2, you guys are in the GOAT debate till someone comes to affect that.
So do they
that
have to be
affection
playing or
is
not?
LeBron.
So
So,
do they have to
LeBron came in and affected it. So that means if they move Kobe to 3, he is no longer part of the boat.
So wouldn't
do they have
Kobe
to be
be
playing
one
or
because
not?
Mike was out before Kobe?
You have to beat his resume still. You have to beat.
Why? You talk about stats again.
If I
you
run the
just said we're not talking about stats.
Usain Bolt has been out when? How long? How long has Usain Bolt been out? Anybody beat his so they're not the fastest ever.
We're not talking about his stats.
He's still the king.
We've never seen anybody that fast.
He's still the king. So whoever is second, those are 2 in the GOAT debate. Third, fuck off.
Who was the best player you ever seen play the game, Gilbert?
Kobe.
So does that not mean greatest of all time?
No, it doesn't mean greatest of all time.
Okay.
How does it mean greatest?
Damn, I
of
wish
all
I had to pee right now.
Hurt his Achilles. He didn't get to finish his resume the way there's a dude that's still playing 20-something.
But he was still the best player you've ever seen play the game.
Yes.
God, so that don't mean that he's the greatest to you.
His resume stopped.
So you're talking about stats again.
His resume. His resume.
Isn't resume stats?
His resume.
Isn't resume stats?
So
his resume.
Does
There's
he have
some
to be
guys.
playing or
There's
not?
T-Mac. Is T-Mac in the Hall of Fame? Yes, he was a Hall of Fame player.
Why?
Top
Why?
fucking 10 talent
Why?
ever. But he's not in there because he doesn't have the resume to get in the conversation.
No, he'll have a resume to get in the Hall of Fame, not the conversation.
I mean, the conversation of whatever.
No, he don't
right?
have
He ain't like there's. You still got to do it just because you look good doing it.
That's called greatness. We put
Greatness is
T-Mac in the Hall of Fame because we never seen such talent like that at such a young age.
Wait, you said T-Mac.
No, I'm just saying he said the greatest conversation of all time.
Making sure.
I'm just picking holes when I.
My question is it talent? Is it talent or is it stats?
My argument.
That's what I want to know.
This is my argument.
Mac is that. Don't get
This is my argument. When Shaquille and you say you have to put him in the GOAT debate, right? My question is, where do you have him right now, right? If you have him 2 or 1, yes, he's in the GOAT debate. If you have him 3, he can't be in the GOAT debate no more. Because number 2, if that's LeBron, he's still active. So if he's 2, then there's no more stats for Kobe. Yeah, you can raise your hand.
Question.
Mr. Martin.
I have a question. So, was it only Kobe, or did everybody think that it was 1A and 1B?
When?
Period.
Only Kobe said 1 and 1.
So did you think
and a
that?
few people.
Did you think that
When?
when he said it?
I just had him 2.
Huh?
I just had him 2. Okay. I had him 2.
So I have a question. I have a question.
Okay.
If someone's considered the next Michael Jackson, right? Like Chris Brown. Say Chris Brown. Next Michael
I'm
Jackson.
glad you did that, yes.
Right?
I'm glad you did that.
So
Good
in the
people.
conversation, say, if you're considered the next greatest of all time, it puts you in the conversation because you're the next, right? Now, if you start to build up your resume to match that, so that's why they say 1A, 1B. Because I can show you highlights of them making the same moves.
Oh, my God.
Them doing the same things.
Oh, my
So
God. Thank you.
logically, it wouldn't make any sense to say this guy is number 1, this guy's on his heels because he's part 2.
Ooh, he did the same thing.
But are they?
No, this is.
No. So you got.
Oh, he's just gonna be stats into it.
You got. No. You
just gonna
got
be stats.
MJ, and then you got Chris Brown, and then you forget about a motherfucker by the name of Drake. Has he surpassed Chris Brown?
What? Did you just bring Drake in the conversation with Michael Jackson?
No, not with Michael Jackson.
With who?
He's number 1, right? You said Chris Brown was the next.
What are we talking about here?
I'm just
Music
saying.
or
So
what are we talking about?
Who's
Talent?
the bigger artist overall?
Talent?
Yes.
We're talking about
talent.
talent.
That's what we're
talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
We're talking about talent.
So we need to have clarification in this conversation. So I thought you was going somewhere else, but
No.
So are we talking about talent or are we talking about art?
Artists right now, who's bigger?
Oh,
No,
Drake is part of arguably the biggest artist of all time.
So he surpassed
No, he don't surpass
the next
shit.
Michael Jackson.
How?
He surpassed him.
How?
Easy.
How?
Numbers don't lie.
Stats again. Stat man. Yeah, that's me. The same nigga say stat don't matter. Yeah, that's me. He can't even help it.
So what?
He can't even help it,
What is
guys.
your argument for? What is your argument?
Talent. The most talented guy since he was 5 years old, Michael Jackson. Chris
So
Brown came in and
wait,
started
wait.
mimicking that shit. It's like, hey man, he could be just as talented as Michael Jackson. Damn. Same with Kobe. Man, Michael Jordan did all this. Man, that shit was fly as fuck. Then we see another nigga come in and do the same fly shit. We didn't think we would ever see anyone come in and be like Michael Jordan. And then here come this young kid named Kobe Bryant doing the same shit. It's like, yo, that's scary hours. And then some of us say, he elevated that shit.
Wait. So
He turned that shit to a whole nother level.
Wait, hold on. So he had more talent. So did he have more natural talent than Vince Carter?
Who?
Kobe.
No.
Okay. Then your argument just shut the fuck up. Can we move on? Because that means he's not the second best, most talented player.
I guess
if
you win.
just voted
You win.
goddamn Vince Carter.
You win.
So move.
You win.
That means we got to go to what now?
Because if Vince Carter's number 3, that means LeBron's number 5. Shit, whatever.
Gil, no, you can't do that because Kobe just worked and but the mattered.
I know, but he's using talent as it's
That's
just
why,
talent.
yeah.
Like Kyrie's the best dribbler ever.
We all agreed the other day that Vince Carter arguably could be the most talented guy we've ever seen. He just didn't reach his abilities.
Okay,
We've already said that.
So that knocked out your point.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Of Kobe being the second
No, it
most talented
didn't.
player ever.
No, because you still consider Michael Jordan the best.
Best player ever. I didn't say nothing about talent. You use talent because
What's the difference between player and talent?
You use talent.
What's the difference between player and talent?
So you don't use stats.
Because we don't use that.
You don't want to use
players.
stats, so you use talent, and then you just got contradicted on talent.
How?
Because there's another motherfucker that's more talented than both of them.
But you just
If
argued.
He's not in the conversation.
You just argued.
He's not in the conversation.
You just argued.
Because if he's in the conversation,
let's let
it
him
goes
talk.
Vince, Jordan, Kobe. So then he's out of that conversation again. However you want to do this.
Speaker box up. Your speaker box is up. We all here, man. You gotta
Motherfucker,
yell.
you can't
You ain't
use-
gotta yell. We right here, man.
Okay, how about this? Which direction do you want to go? Do you want to go stats or do you want to go talent?
You only go stats.
Pick your lane.
You just said that
Pick
the
your
fans
lane.
the fans in the
Pick your
media
lane.
go stats, and here you go using stats.
Pick your lane.
You go using
Talent or your body of work. Pick one. How you look doing it or everything you did. Pick one. Which lane do you want to go in?
Is LeBron in
He
the
don't-
conversation?
he don't-
Hey, is
he don't-
is LeBron in the conversation?
He don't-
Is LeBron in the conversation?
Depend
The
on
most
what lane you
talented
want.
ever?
Depend on, no.
Is he? That was the
Depend on what
comment.
lane.
You
What-
brought Vince in because you
what-
can't bring LeBron in.
What?
You bring Vince in because you can't bring LeBron in.
Because you said he's the second.
Can we shut it down?
No. Because that still puts him in 3.
What about?
So the fact that he don't want
What did you say about 3? What did you say about 3?
You're not in the
If you're 3, you're not in the conversation. So let's shut it down
That
then.
means your guy ain't in the conversation.
Let's
no
just
more.
shut it down.
What about Bob Cousy?
Of course. You don't want to go down one of those lanes because
Let's
they
shut
eat
it
to the
down.
same thing.
Let's shut
You
it
don't want to
down.
use body of work. You don't want to use natural talent.
Y'all ever seen the other guys?
Because was he talented more than Tracy McGrady?
The other guys?
You see that? What?
The Tuna story and other guys, Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, that didn't go the way you
that's
thought it
why I
was going to
don't-
go.
But no.
That's
what
why
I'm
I think about the
but
way
what I'm
that I
saying
do.
is he don't want to use the stats,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he wants to jump to say this is the best because of the talent. Then I said, whoa, talent. Then I got Vince Carter, I got Tracy McGrady, right? More talented. But they don't have the body of work Kobe does, right?
Who's the best player you ever seen play, Gil?
The best player I ever seen play is Kobe.
Okay, that's all we want to know.
All right, well, let's Keep this moving. Another spirited discussion on Gil's Arena.
Who's the finest bitch that I've ever seen in my life? Who's the best woman ever? There's two different things, brother.
As long as you're saying he the best you ever seen, that's all I care about.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's all I care about.
Gil's Arena presented by Underdog Fantasy.
I got my 5 rings from Kobe. I know.
If you enjoyed that debate, download the app on Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Gil. They will match your first deposit up to $100.
Right there.
You can do pick'ems.
Hey, in my weight room, for inspiration, I got Kobe, Jordan, LeBron. So y'all know who my top 3 is.
Okay.
I thought you would have you in there, but
I know who my top 3 is.
In that order?
Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Magic, Shaq.
Okay. So you're saying though that
he's
Magic,
Team LeBron.
Magic
He's saying he's Team LeBron.
But they can't ever get in that GOAT discussion. Like I couldn't make a compelling argument for Magic or Kobe.
To get how? What I'm saying, that was my whole thing, right? If my whole thing is if level 1 is the top level, right? Level 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If 5 is 5 and he's retired, how can he move up to 4 to 3? He can't. He can't move. He's there, right? Only thing that can happen is someone jump in and moves him down, right? 4, you only can move down. So if there's a guy that's sitting there playing still, the guy that everyone has number 2, he's still playing. So 3, 4, and 5 is irrelevant. The only thing that can happen is Kevin Durant can come along, Steph Curry can come along and move whoever's 3, 4, 5 down more.
With their stats, right?
With their stats and their accomplishment, their whole body.
Not with their talent. Not with what we see. We already seen what we're going to see from them, so they got to accumulate stats to be a part of the conversation. Kobe Bryant does not.
Okay, so where he ranking talent?
Number 2.
So he's more talented than Vince Carter and Michael Jordan?
Number 2.
Vince Carter and Michael Jordan, just say, yeah, he's more talented than them.
Number 2.
I just named you 2 people. Is he more talented than those 2 people?
Is
he more talented than Tracy McGrady?
He's more talented than Michael Jordan.
Okay, how about Tracy McGrady?
Yes.
Okay, then he's 2 in your mind. Okay.